Metal bends under light. A piercing blue beam sweeps across a copper plate, and the solid surface liquefies like molten glass. It is a moment of controlled chaos, a symphony of physics and precision. That beam belongs to Nuburu, a small company from Centennial, Colorado, that set out to redefine the limits of industrial laser technology. Its ambition was simple yet audacious: to use blue light energy to transform how the world welds, builds, and manufactures. But behind that vision lies a web of contradictions: rapid expansions, unexplained funding, and a pace that defies normal corporate logic. Nuburu's claim to fame is its high-power blue laser, operating at a wavelength of roughly 450 nanometers. Unlike traditional infrared lasers, which metals such as copper and aluminum largely reflect, the blue spectrum penetrates deeply, enabling efficient energy absorption. This translates into far fewer weld defects, minimal spatter, the molten metal droplets that cause imperfections, and stronger, cleaner joints. In theory, this is a game-changing leap for industries where precision is everything: electric vehicle battery manufacturing, power electronics, and aerospace component assembly. Yet while the physics is impeccable, the balance sheet tells another story. In 2024, Nuburu generated a mere $150,000 USD in revenue, a staggering 90% drop from the previous year. Its net loss widened to 34.5 million USDs, with an earnings per share figure of negative 1.25 USD. For a company built on advanced engineering, these numbers are not merely disappointing, they are alarming. Typically, when faced with such financial distress, a firm would freeze non-essential R&D, stabilize its cash flow, and focus on securing short-term contracts. Nuburu did the opposite. It aimed higher, toward defense. On March 12, 2025, the company stunned observers by announcing the acquisition of a 20% stake in Defense and Security Hub, a defense technology integrator. Normally, defense entry requires years of compliance audits, national clearances, and classified certifications. Nuburu bypassed this entirely by buying into an existing contractor. The move was so swift that even seasoned analysts struggled to make sense of it. Such speed and confidence hinted either at extraordinary inside connections or at desperation, the kind of pivot a company makes when survival outweighs caution. This was the first great mystery. Then, in September 2025, Nuburu carried out a public stock offering of roughly 12 million USD. On paper, that might look like standard growth financing. In reality, it raised more questions than optimism. The company had no visible contracts, limited commercial adoption, and still faced heavy operational losses. Most firms raise capital after demonstrating revenue traction. Nuburu did so after its sales had virtually collapsed. To investors, that suggested something urgent, possibly the need to cover mounting operational expenses or sustain acquisition momentum before liquidity ran out. The urgency became clearer on October 7th, 2025, when Nuburu announced its intention to acquire Orbit, an Italian defense software company specializing in operational resilience systems, platforms designed to keep critical military networks functional during attacks or system failures. Nuburu stated that Orbit's software would complement its defense hub stake, merging hardware precision with digital command reliability. The acquisition was structured as a phased transaction, with a final option to complete by December 31st, 2026, at a pre-money valuation of approximately 12.5 million USD. The problem? The source of funds. Nuburu's filings contain no mention of venture backing, no strategic partner disclosures, and no new credit facility. For a company already in the red, this raised a serious question. Who was financing Nuburu's expansion? And why was it being done so quietly? This became the second mystery. Barely 10 days later, another revelation. Nuburu announced it had regained compliance with NYSE American's listing standards. Just months earlier, it had faced potential delisting due to capital deficiencies and ongoing losses. The speed of recovery defied the norm. Typically, companies spend at least half a year addressing auditor reviews, presenting compliance plans, and securing financial guarantees before reinstatement. Nuburu accomplished this in record time. The announcement, while positive on paper, hinted at emergency restructuring, perhaps asset sales, insider capital injections, or undisclosed bridge financing. It was a triumph of optics, but its foundation was uncertain. Then came October 22nd, 2025. In a move that shocked even seasoned defense analysts, Nuburu unveiled a joint venture with Maddox Defense to establish a European drone manufacturing hub. The company projected cumulative sales of 165 million USD between 2026 and 2028, with an annual revenue goal of 100 million USD thereafter. For a small firm that had just earned less than 200,000 USD the previous year, these numbers bordered on fantasy. In the defense industry, major contracts take years, often a decade, to mature, involving prototype trials, field evaluations, and long procurement cycles. For Nuburu to expect triple-digit million revenue within 3 years was nearly inconceivable. To some, it suggested bold strategic ambition. To others, it reeked of overstatement, a narrative built to attract attention and perhaps more capital. That was the third mystery. Underneath these headline-grabbing announcements, the company's internal architecture was fragile. In its 2024 annual filing, Nuburu disclosed a material weakness in internal control over financial reporting. This is not a trivial admission. It means management could not fully guarantee the accuracy of its own financial statements. The conventional corporate response would be to pause expansion, conduct internal audits, and rebuild accounting integrity. Nuburu did the opposite, pushing forward with acquisitions and partnerships. The sequencing was illogical, even reckless, and it fueled speculation that management was using growth headlines to distract from structural vulnerabilities. Still, it would be unfair to dismiss the technology itself. Nuburu's blue laser platform remains scientifically sound and commercially relevant. By drastically improving absorption efficiency in reflective metals like copper and aluminum, it could redefine performance standards in electric mobility, renewable energy, and aerospace engineering. When integrated with Orbit's software, Nuburu could theoretically evolve into a dual-capability defense technology firm, one that combines precision optics with intelligent operational systems. But the gap between potential and profitability remains immense. By October 2025, the company had managed to restore its listing, acquire a defense stake, negotiate a software merger, and announce a drone joint venture, all in less than 12 months. The timeline is breathtaking, but also bewildering. For most companies, even a single one of those milestones would take years. The fact that Nuburu accomplished 4 suggests either unprecedented efficiency or a narrative built faster than reality can support. Investors are left to weigh the contradiction, the brilliance of the science against the opacity of the strategy. The Valuester channel invites all viewers to share in the comments any listed, unlisted, or pre-IPO stocks or cryptocurrency projects that deserve deeper investigation. Your insights could shape our next story. Thank you to every dedicated listener who watches, subscribes, likes, comments, and shares our videos. Your engagement drives us to continue exploring the hidden forces shaping technology, finance, and the markets themselves. This was Valuester.